there's a lot of issues really surrounding the Mao evictions. I mean, the public is being treated to a lot of politics. We've seen you on very many shows, talking about, this particular issue. Where we are right now, are we making any progress?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I actually want to comment on the issues which are happening right now in terms of what the government is doing. The government is keeping to the promise that we, as a current generation, must keep for the future generation. We must preserve our environment. And I think there's a lot of politics around, but the truth is these people have encroached into the environment, into the forest, and they have to live. That's the bottom line.
And how about the way in which they are being asked to live? Many people are saying it's very inhumane. Isn't there a better way to do this?
Defining humane. I mean, yesterday someone asked a very important question in a different show and said, if I come into your home now and I excise part of your land, for you to move me out of there, you know very well that I'm illegal. I've been there. So the issue is these people have been asked for so many years to move out, and they've completely disregarded the rule of law. If they are talking about having acquired this property through a willing buyer, willing seller, the law protects it, and we have to be very, very clear. Article 40, subsection 6 of the Constitution is very clear. That right does not extend in any property that was illegally acquired. So when Murkomen goes out there and say that this was, the Maasai sold that land, if the land was sold, hypothetically, if the Maasai sold the land, but that land was actually not there, these people have recourse. They can go back to court. Whenever you do a transaction, you have to have a sale agreement. And that sale agreement should be able to protect you. So if there's anything wrong, follow the person who sold you land.
I want us to talk about the three different groups of people in that forest. So of course you have the squatters. You have people who say that they have, the title deeds legally acquired. And there are people who do not have legal title deeds, fake title deeds, just to talk about that. How do you then deal with all these groups of people?
First of all, the people who purportedly have genuine titles, it's imperative that those titles are confirmed. And I think the government is moving in the right direction. I know the county commissioner, Natembea, has clearly stated that if you so believe that you have a genuine title, bring it for verification. This all nonsense of a cut line. There's no cut line. It is very, very clear. It is that these people bought, if they bought land, I'm still saying hypothetically, if they bought land from the group ranches, the group ranches are very clear on the size. But if you now extend that land and say this is still part of this group ranch, in fact, the person who sold you that land can actually be prosecuted for obtaining money under false pretense. So that property was never there. So you can be able to pursue. You cannot come and say, I don't have the title. I don't have the agreement. You did. If you bought land, there are processes that are followed in this country for you to buy land. You go to the registrar of lands, you pay a particular fee for the district surveyor, you pay some taxes in terms of that. So there's a process. You cannot just come and say, here's my 100,000 shillings, give me land, and then I go and transfer the title for you. There is a process that is followed. And the government is very good in keeping records. I would actually assume that. So we can be able to pursue. So that is in the person who has a title.
A title deed.
So if you have a title, let us verify, first of all, that that title is actually good. You could find that there are some maybe private individual who sold land. Maybe one big family had a lot of land and they sold. I know particularly of a place called Sierra Leone, where there are soldiers who came back from Sierra Leone. Some of them genuinely bought land, and they were sold land from the group ranches. Let us verify that. But now, because of our most important need to preserve this environment for future generation, we can relocate those people. They can be recompensated.
Is there any consideration that's going to be done for the squatters? Because these are families, there are children in there who've lived there for so many years. Is there any consideration, even though they were not supposed to be there in the first place?
You know, Betty, when you're born somewhere. If today you decide that you're going to become a squatter in KTN, that's your own prerogative. You need to be able to go back where you came from. You didn't just fall from the sky all the way down. If you're a squatter, where did you come from? Okay? There's a big problem in this country, and I cannot be oblivious to that fact, that there are those people who have acquired so much land. They have amassed so much land. And then this concept of land ownership, it is not something which is domiciled in every culture. in the Maasai community, for instance, we don't really understand this concept of title deeds. It just came in recently, you know, and when I say recently, maybe from the 70s.
Yeah.
But there are people who have, and even 80s or 90s, there's still people who do not understand anything about the title deeds. So if you're a squatter, because I know this is a problem countrywide, the government ought to look into it. And I've given the government a very good suggestion. The government, in one of the 4 pillars of development of Jubilee, they're going to build affordable houses. Get some land, build those affordable houses, move that entire population there. I'm sure the government has got land which is not forest reserve. They can be able to be moved there.